Christmas time. It really is the most wonderful time of the year, or at least it is supposed to be. Well, as children, we are excited for the holidays, looking forward to eating cookies, making gingerbread houses, and on the faithful Christmas morning, we finally get to open the presents we have been looking forward to for months. Excited to see how successful Santa Claus was this year, and each year the wish list grows with more toys crammed on the piece of paper and more expensive desires expressed. As a grown-up, the picture turns. Now you are the one who has to make the wishes a reality, who knows that if you don't get every single thing on the list for your child, there will inevitably be disappointment and a mental breakdown and evil stares from your mother-in-law judging you for not having performed your duty as Santa Claus as thoroughly as you should have. You see a pattern here, right? Christmas is all about presents. Forget about Jesus being born and all that. What we really want is some plastic toy that will rot away in a corner of the playroom only weeks after it was unpacked with such glee. And that is exactly how retailers see Christmas too. A huge chance to rake in the final cash of the year and to make a bucket load of money in the months leading up to the holiday. Welcome to Rebel Economics, where today we will be looking at the crazy economics of Christmas. I hope you have your eggnog ready and a gingerbread cookie in your hand to get in the mood, because I sure am. Christmas is a hugely important holiday for most retail sectors. While some holidays only cater to a few, like Valentine's Day for chocolate, flowers, and lingerie, you can really sell just about anything during Christmas. And that is the true Christmas miracle. From electronics to clothing to food and beverages, there's nothing that cannot be sold for Christmas. Slap a Santa and an elf on your design, make it smell like cinnamon, and bam, your Christmas products are done. And that is just the presents. You also have millions spent on Christmas trees, decorations, Christmas cards, etc. Plus, there's a whole section of the entertainment industry dedicated to this holiday. From songs to special Christmas episodes and movies like the classic Hallmark Christmas movies. I'm such a sucker for those, so believe me, one of these days there will be a video about the economics of Hallmark. So, how much do people really spend on Christmas? Well, hold on to that eggnog and cookies, cause the number is nuts. According to the Gallup survey in 2019, people were planning on spending an average of $942 just on Christmas presents. That is an all-time high since the early 2000s, and the number keeps rising each year since the 2008 crisis. Our economic prosperity, who knows how long that will last, has a direct impact on how much we were willing to spend on this holiday. The overall celebration, including food, drinks, and decorations, came to around $1,500 per household. Now, for some of you, that may not sound too crazy, but when considering that the average weekly earnings of a person in the US is at around $1,037, that is a lot. So it means that about 1 week and a half of the average person's salary is spent just to be able to afford Christmas. But not everyone can afford that, which means that there are people who go into debt just to be able to afford all of the magic that is needed for this holiday. In the US, it is about 1 in 5 people, whereas in Europe, only 1 in 10 decide to overcharge their credit cards to pay for this very expensive day. This makes sense, as Americans are the world's biggest spenders on this holiday. The US frequently spends over $1 trillion on Christmas. That is because it is highly commercialized in the US, being the global hub of capitalism. And this keeps being edged on by companies. Black Friday is the most iconic way in which consumerism is being rewarded in the pre-Christmas period, with crazy discounts making people feel like they have to buy now to get the best price. Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday have become some of the most profitable days for retailers, and that extends to online shops. In the period from 2008 to 2018, the amount of money spent online during these 2 days has skyrocketed. And giant online retailers, first and foremost Amazon, are already preparing to double down on this goldmine. That immense spending is one side of the economics of the Christmas holiday. But there is another side, one that depresses me a little every time I think about it. And that is the amount of presents that are unwanted, and therefore either end up being thrown out eventually by the recipient or get returned to the store. But since the return likely takes place after Christmas, many of the items can no longer be sold and will therefore also end up in landfills. The same is true for things that were purchased online. Amazon is famously known for simply trashing the returns rather than reselling them. In the wake of Christmas in 2021, nearly 6 billion pounds of landfill waste were produced, which is the equivalent of the waste produced by 3.3 million Americans in a year. The simplicity of those returns only exacerbate the tendency to not keep presents. Statistics say that online purchases are at least 3 times more likely to be returned than items bought in a store. Having looked at America, let's see how Europeans fare in the Christmas madness. According to Statista, online and in-store Christmas spending in Europe is far less. In 2021, the British are estimated to have spent the most with £84.7 billion, so $98.3 billion. This was followed by the Germans, who spend about $86.7 billion on Christmas, and the French, who spend $72.9 billion. While still a bit away from the more than $1 trillion that the Americans spend, it is safe to say that the Europeans are definitely taking part in the Christmas craze. And it is not just that we buy more and more each year, but products also genuinely become more expensive, at least according to the Christmas Price Index. Never heard of it? Well, neither have I until now, and I could only barely hold back the chuckles when I understood what it is. The Christmas Price Index refers to current cost of gifts given in the song The 12 Days of Christmas. In 2021, the index of the US amounted to a bit over $41,000. That's a 5.7% growth compared to 2019, when it was only about $39,000. Now, I didn't actually know the song, so I had to look up what crazy presents are given to amount to so much money, and looking up the lyrics did not give me much of an explanation. After all, who would want 12 drummers, 11 pipers, 10 lords, 9 dancers, 8 milkmaids, 6 geese, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree? I don't know about you, but I definitely return everything apart from the golden rings. Apart from that, prices for many products actually increase before Christmas. Retailers know that that is when we are most likely in the spending mood and are desperately looking for presents. And as the rules of supply and demand go, prices are often increased during the pre-Christmas period. Even afterwards, during the Boxing Day sale, prices are either reduced to their normal price or still higher than they would be during other times of the year. So if you are already in holiday shopping mode, make sure you're not being ripped off, and make sure that you buy people something they actually like or can use. So maybe this year we hear about an amazing reduction in the returns after the holiday. Maybe that can be my wish for Santa. Thank you so much for tuning in to Rebel Economics and my rant about the crazy economics of Christmas. I personally love the holidays, so if you want to give me a Christmas present this year that will not cost you a dime, why not like and subscribe? I would really appreciate it. Why not also check out some other videos, like the one about Amazon abusing its retailers, or another fun one like the crazy economics of Hello Kitty. Merry Christmas and see you next time.